In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get over the 5 top objections that you get in sales. First of all, these objections are actually lies. Yes, I said it, they're actually lies. We call them smoke screens here, meaning the client is throwing some smoke in the air to try to throw you off, but they're not telling you the real objection that's underlying beneath the smoke. And we're going to figure that out today. For example, if somebody tells you that they want to think about it, what they're actually telling you is they're not totally sold on you or your product or service. So what you have to say in this instance, and before we get into the rebuttal, the truth of the matter is within the first phone call that you have with somebody, you should already know all their objections that potentially could come out because you're a good active listener, and you should squash those objections throughout your conversation or throughout your presentation because you got to know the client in their life and you know why your product or service weighs more than their objections, okay?
Hey Ace, what does squash objections really mean?
Squash objections mean that you acknowledge it, you respond to it with value, you squash it and put it away, meaning that's no longer an issue. Meaning if you tell me, hey, do you have any upfront costs associated with your consulting? And I tell you, yeah, we do have upfront costs associated with my consulting. It's $997 to get started. But like I told you, once we do our trainings and we revamp your sales and help you with your leadership, you're gonna make triple that investment within the first 30 days, so it shouldn't be an issue. Squash, pivot, move on. Now, instead of running away from that objection, I actually answered it, squashed it, and moved on. Look, why is this an issue? We're going to make a lot more money than the $997 upfront fee. Shouldn't be an issue at all. Let's squash it. Let's move on. Your product or service has to weigh more than the objection. So when somebody says, I want to think about it, what I would tell them is, hey, like, look, from everything we talked about so far on the phone call today, you told me that you wanted to increase your sales, right? Yes. You told me that you also want to better your leadership skills, right? Yes. You also told me that if we could get you running your team in a more effective way, getting them motivated, you stop losing people and you stop being stressed out, right? Yes. Okay, beautiful. So we thought about it together already. The next steps are super simple. And then you close. You see what I did there? I reiterated the goals and the emotional benefits of the client I'm talking to help him close and show him you really don't need to think about it. We already thought about it together. Second objection, send me an email. What this actually means is I want to go ahead and shop you around. I want to double check with somebody else. I want to forward this email around or take a picture of it or pull it up on my phone and show it to some people. They're not sold on you yet. They most likely want to shop. What you need to say in this particular situation is definitely. Email is part of the process. You're going to get an email with all the final figures. But as long as A, we help you increase your sales, B, help you better your leadership skills, and C, help you hold your attention so you stop losing people and motivate your sales team, the email is not going to change anything about doing this, right? Nope, perfect. So here's the next steps. I will send you an email and here's what I need. And you go straight back to the close. You see, what's the common theme here? The common theme here is you're acknowledging their objection and then reiterating their goals to them and telling them that their objection isn't a problem and then going back to the close. Third one, I want to talk to my spouse. What this actually means is they don't like your product or service or something about it and they want to share that with their spouse and make sure that their spouse has the same viewpoints as them. They're scared to make the decision without their spouse. Let me ask you a question. If you were saving money or buying your dream car and your spouse loved you and would support you buying your dream car, would you have to talk to your spouse about it? If you were saving money on a mortgage every single month, would you have to tell your spouse and talk to her about saving $300 a month? No, typically the ones that you're concerned with and you want to talk to your spouse are decisions that make your life worse, not decisions that make your life better. Because a true spouse would be on board with making both of your lives better. And if the product or service makes sense, it should be making your life better. So what I would tell somebody is, of course you want to talk to your spouse. Now tell me, if we told Lisa that we were going to A, improve your sales, B, make you a better leader for your family and your company, and C, help you with retention, stop losing people, stop going home stressed out, do you think she'd be happy with that or disappointed? Happy? Perfect. So we're definitely going to get her on board. I'm going to send you all the paperwork. We can share it with her. And as a matter of fact, I could get on the call with you. So here's what we have to do next. And I go back to the close. If somebody tells you they want to get back with you, what that actually means is fly a kite and they'll probably never talk to you again. So in this instance, if somebody tells me they want to get back to me, yeah, of course. And hopefully I'm going to be following up with you for the rest of your life and be your go-to guy for all your financial consulting. Now tell me this, is there any reason why A, increasing your sales, B, making you a better leader, and C, helping your retention would require any thinking or getting back to me? No. Okay, perfect. So we're going to be going back and forth to each other in the future. I'm going to be your go-to guy. There's no need to get back to me. Let's go ahead and get this done right now. Go back to the close. Lastly, I want to shop this around. What this actually means is they think they're getting ripped off. What I typically say in this scenario is, hey, I truly appreciate that, and you want the best price for your dollar, right? You want to get value, you want to get service, you want to increase your sales, you want to better your leadership, and you want to go ahead and hold your retention, right? Yes, okay. So tell me this, what is shopping around going to do for you as far as solving that? Because you could get something cheaper the cheapest is not always the best. And like I told you, what you really want to focus on is your overall return on investment. And that's where we're going to maximize that here for you today, because I'm not somebody that's selling a cheap service or a cheap value, because I know what I do works. So I could understand that you want to get the best deal, but what's more important than the best deal is the best rate on return and the biggest value proposition. And that's what you're getting here today. So here are the next steps. And then I go ahead and close again. I know what you're thinking. Don't even say it yet. You're thinking, what if when you go to close, you get another objection? Well, that's exactly what happens. Typically, when you go to close, after the smoke screen, sometimes what you'll actually get is the real objection. So a lot of times they say they want to think about it. I'm like, yeah, so from what you told me so far, A, you want to better your sales. B, you want to be a better leader. C, you want to hold your retention. Those all sound great. We're on the same page. We thought about it together. Here's the next steps. Then they're like, well, yeah, I just want to make sure that I can afford the out-of-pocket expense. Wow, there it is. The smoke is gone, and now the real objection comes out, which is the out-of-pocket expense. In this particular case, what could I say? I could say, beautiful. So tell me, as far as the out-of-pocket expense goes, the $997, is that too big of a lift for you? Something that you need to make down payments on? Is it a deposit? What's actually going on with the down payment, and how could I help you out? Maybe they say, well, I only have $500, and maybe that leads to me doing a 50% down or doing a monthly payment plan with them, or maybe talking to them about taking out of their savings and why it makes sense. But I could address the true objection, and I got past the fake objection, which is I want to think about it. A lot of times salespeople get stuck there, I want to think about it. All right, go ahead and think it over and get back to me when you can. They let the client off the phone. They don't even know what the true objection is. Therefore, they don't know how to follow up with them. They don't know how to communicate with them, because they're not actually unlocking the true potential. Somebody says, send me an email. And I'm like, yeah, we'll definitely send you an email. There's going to be a ton of emails involved with this. Those are actually the next steps of our process, but let's go ahead and get everything closed and locked in for you right now so we keep this moving. And he's like,
Well, I want to make sure I'm getting the best deal.
well, now the email just turned into shopping. And now I could address that and say, yeah, definitely, man. Well, look, I shop around all these different companies for you. If I'm selling mortgages, I'm going to get you the best deal today. Or in my academy, I could say, yeah, shopping around, and go back to the same response I gave you guys the last time about how, yeah, you're going to get value with me and you're going to get a bigger return on investment, and you're looking for a value proposition, not the cheapest cost. You want something that works the most. And then I could address that, and they could say, okay, it makes sense. Let's go ahead. Somebody says they want to talk to their spouse, and I'm like, yeah, you know, is your spouse going to love A, B, and C? And they're like, yeah, she'll probably love it. Okay, then there's no reason. Let's go ahead and move forward right now. And they're like to me, well, I'm kind of talking to somebody else. Spouse turns into shopping. So you see, a lot of times addressing these things with the acknowledge the value and going back to the close, sometimes will get you another objection. And in that case, you do the same exact thing. You acknowledge it, respond with value again, and close. Anything is better than taking the smoke screen at face value and letting the client off the phone. So look, main takeaway here. Don't stop at the smoke screen. Don't take objections at face value. If an objection was an onion, I need you to peel that thing 6 layers back to find the actual true objection. Acknowledge, respond with value, and close it every single time. Use this strategy, and I guarantee you, you close double the sales. If you like this video, like, subscribe to it at the bottom. We have an academy with sales virtual training, leadership virtual training, mortgage weekly training, weekly live Q&A calls, books, planners, playbooks, and so many templates. I will give you your money back guaranteed if you don't increase your sales. Go ahead and log into that academy, acezacademy.com. I want to see you there, and I want you to increase your sales. Thanks for watching the video. Catch you on the next one.